the 5 aggregates. The body, feeling, discrimination, awareness, and then mental factors, and then the perceptions. So the first, in the Vaibhashika school, they set the example. The body is like a plate, the way you eat food. So the plate, on the top of the plate, what you put is food, as a feeling. You feel within this body, and then this food is the flavor by the discrimination awareness. So discriminate your thought, saying this is wonderful, this is so tasty, right? Or this is so good, right? So discrimination awareness is like a, what called chicken curry. So it's putting the flavor, and then and then with like a spoon that feeds you. So it's those emotions, sometimes anger, sometimes attachment, sometimes arrogance, pride, with those emotions, sometimes neutral, sometimes compassion. So with each of these emotions, we feed the feeling to the consciousness. And then who is the eater? Who eats the consciousness experience? The eater is the consciousness. So any consciousness that experience happy or suffering, right? It has to be filled within this element. Element. The consciousness, the eater, what you eat is the feeling, which you eat with what flavors through the discrimination awareness. And how this feed to you is with these emotions. So the 5 aggregates is there. So you cannot perceive color, sound, smell, taste, textures without this, the body. Without this body. Right now, I'm talking about right now, as you as a human being, to see things, to hear things, to smell things. Without this body, everything that you seeing, smelling within these elements in the body. And through these elements of the body, you see, you smell, you feel. Right? So this is why first you meditate mindfulness of the body. And then the main thing is, the feeling. So the feeling, physical feeling, mental feeling. So the feeling is that kind of, that what drives the consciousness to go after the object, because of the feeling. So, and the feeling always, change the flavor. The flavor of the feeling is always changes by your discrimination awareness, your thought process. You are just labeling on the phenomena. Your way of projecting on the phenomena. So your projections are the flavors, So so that then once you change the flavor of the feeling, and then you generate the emotions, compassion or the faith or anger or attachments. So that the main eater is the consciousness. So mindfulness the body, mindfulness the feeling, mindfulness the phenomena, and mindfulness the consciousness, the 4 mindfulness.
When death comes and all these causes and conditions disintegrate and disappears, everything is gone, no? Nothing. Even the mind, because mind it is not independent. So what goes to the next? I shouldn't say what goes. I know there is mistake there, but
so
the mind doesn't disappear with all its causes and conditions.
So it's kind of, say, so you eat things When there's the plate, you use the plate to eat. When there's no plate, you can use the paper plate to eat, or sometimes you can use the leaves. So, as a human being, we have this plate, this as body. So, whatever we see things, smell things, through these elements in the body. And when this element, the body is gone, and again the consciousness will arrange another form of the body.
What do you mean by that?
This meat body is gone,
Yes.
and another form of energy body is there. Automatically. So it is the power of the consciousness to every time it actively engages in something with energies. Without energy, the consciousness do not engage in any object. Energies, in the subtle level energy or the grosser level energies. Grosser level become the elements. So the consciousness in the most tiniest level, the subtle energy is there. That subtle energy has the power to gather the elements. So when this meat body is died, another form is the body. And that energy form of the body is disappear when you leave it, and instantly you can born in another form of the body.
And that is
So that's kind of so it's kind of consciousness collects the energy, they create the form of the body, and by nature they are impermanent and they're disintegrating, and then they just die. So the power of the consciousness to gathering the energy is always with there. So, and ultimately there is no going in any going or the coming. It's just in the language, in the concept. Because when you leave on one body and get another body, it says, "Oh, you leave that body and go on to another body."
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, we should meditate on mindfulness of the body and the feeling and the consciousness. I think the main thing, the meditation, the mindfulness of the body. The mindfulness of the body, and sometimes you don't meditate mindfulness of the feeling is okay. Mindfulness of the body and mindfulness of the phenomena, and mindfulness of the consciousness is the main thing. The body and the phenomena is there's a kind of it's linked. So contemplating on the internal elements, and that leads you to understand the objects that out there is still, the part of that is also conditioned by your internal element. The color that you see, sound that you hear, is also it's conditioned by your internal element, and because of the existing of the universal element out there. Mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the feeling, mindfulness of the phenomena, mindfulness of consciousness. Mindfulness is concentration, meditating, analytically meditating on the body, analytically meditating on the feeling, analytically meditating on phenomena, analytically meditating on the perceptions or the consciousness. So here in the English, we also always use this mindfulness. Being mindful with your body, being mindful with your feeling, being mindful with your phenomena, objects, form, sound, smell, taste, textures. And then the concept of the mental concept, like the relation of the cause and effect, and the times. So these are also the object. to be mindfulness, to be mindful with. So because they're saying in the whole, I think Rice Soothing Sutras, Nagarjuna's and Chandrakirti's, all pointing at one, the suffering is due to the misconceptions. So no misconceptions, no suffering. So the misconception can be overcome because, object of misconception can be pacified, dismantled. So if the object of the misconception can be dismantled and pacified, and then it is possible the misconception can be pacified or abandoned or eliminated. So then it is possible by pacifying the object of the misconceptions, overcoming the misconceptions, and abandon the all cause of the suffering. So that cessation is always we say, I take refuge to the Dharma.